Hello everyone, welcome to back my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Young and the Restless sees a romantic spark ignite between Kyle Abbott, Michael Mealer, and Claire Newman, Haley Aaron, which sparks a jealous reaction from Summer Newman, Allison Lanier. As Kyle and Claire explore their newfound affection, Summer plots to blow up the relationship. The strain between Claire and Summer can be traced back to their tumultuous past, with Claire's upbringing under Jordan Howard's, Colleen's Inc. control. How much progress have they made on the CBS soap opera? And RC's Summer's current beau, Chance Chancellor, Connor Floyd, may soon find himself heartbroken as Summer's lingering feelings for Kyle come back. Meanwhile, Claire continues to care for Kyle's son, Harrison Abbott, Redding Munsell, despite Summer's initial resistance on Young and Restless. With the Newman family rallying behind Claire, Summer may find herself isolated in her attempts to reclaim Kyle. Audra Charles, Zuleika Silver, and Phyllis Summers, Michelle Stafford, could play pivotal roles in the ensuing drama. Stay tuned for more spoilers and updates on the ongoing Young and the Restless saga. Get all your Young and the Restless daily spoilers and news here at Y&R Update. And stay tuned for updates on your favorite characters' fates. Check out our Soap Opera Spoilers channel on YouTube. The Abbott mansion was quiet as the evening sun cast a warm glow over Genoa City. Kyle Abbott, recently divorced, was trying to rediscover his footing. His heart was wounded and his emotions were turbulent as he settled into his new reality. Still, he was adjusting, letting himself start fresh, not tied to anyone. But if there was one thing he hadn't counted on, it was the fierce determination of Summer Newman to keep him in her life. Claire Stanton, a new face in Genoa City, had quickly caught Kyle's attention. With her striking beauty, intelligence, and mysterious past, Claire embodied the allure Kyle had thought he'd long since given up chasing. Their flirtation was subtle but growing, like embers waiting for a spark. Claire made him feel alive again, pushing him to explore parts of himself he'd neglected. However, Summer's watchful eyes were always on them. She noticed how Kyle's demeanor changed around Claire. She saw the lingering glances, the shared laughs, and something flickered inside her, a dormant but powerful urge to reclaim what she felt was hers. A complicated past. Summer and Kyle's relationship had been nothing short of a roller coaster. Best friends, lovers, and even spouses at one point, they'd been through more than most couples could withstand. Their connection was undeniable, and though they both made their fair share of mistakes, they often found themselves pulled back together. After all, Summer felt as though no one understood Kyle like she did. They'd grown up side by side, faced life's storms together, and endured betrayals, heartbreaks, and reconciliations. But as she watched him now, her heart clenched. She couldn't bear the idea of him moving on without her, especially with someone as captivating and mysterious as Claire. To Summer, Claire was an outsider, a potential threat to the bond she and Kyle had fought so hard to maintain. And the more she saw Kyle with Claire, the more her insecurities grew, planting seeds of doubt. Claire wasn't just beautiful, she was also a smart businesswoman with a quick wit and natural charm. Within a few weeks of her arrival, Claire had secured a high-level position at Newman Enterprises. She had charisma, confidence, and an air of mystery that fascinated nearly everyone she met. Summer, recognizing the growing closeness between Kyle and Claire, decided to step in. If Kyle couldn't see that Claire was no good for him, Summer would make him see. After all, she knew Kyle's weaknesses and more importantly, she knew how to get under his skin. One afternoon, she arranged to run into Kyle at Crimson Lights, where he was meeting Claire for coffee. Armed with a casual demeanor and a winning smile, Summer greeted them warmly. But once Claire excused herself to take a phone call, Summer took her chance to voice her concerns. "Kyle," Summer began, leaning across the table, "don't you think Claire's sudden interest in you is a bit calculated?" She let her words hang in the air, waiting to see how Kyle would react. Kyle shot her a puzzled look. calculated. Summer, you don't even know her. I know her type, she replied, a flash of bitterness in her tone. Women like Claire come to Geno City all the time. They're drawn to power, money, and status, and once they get what they want, they're gone. Kyle shook his head, a hint of frustration in his eyes. Summer, not everyone has an ulterior motive. Just because things didn't work out between us doesn't mean I can't try with someone else. Her heart sank at his words, but she pushed on. Kyle, I know we didn't work out in the end, but don't you think you're rushing into something? Maybe take time to figure out what you really want before getting involved with someone like Claire. Claire strikes back. Word got back to Claire about Summer's interference, and she wasn't about to let it slide. Claire was no pushover. If Summer wanted to play games, Claire was more than willing to match her move for move. Claire confronted Summer at Newman Enterprises, where the tension between them was thick enough to cut. They exchanged barbed words, each woman standing firm in her conviction. Claire pointed out that Summer had lost her chance with Kyle, that her attempts to interfere were borderline obsessive. Face it, Summer, Claire sneered, a faint smile playing on her lips. You had your chance with Kyle, and you let him slip away. Maybe it's time to step aside and let him find happiness with someone who isn't constantly playing games. But Summer was not one to back down. She raised an eyebrow and replied, I know Kyle better than you ever will, Claire. You may think you can sweep in and dazzle him, but you'll never understand him like I do. Kyle's confusion. Meanwhile, Kyle found himself torn between the two women. On one hand, he knew Summer, faults and all. Their history was complicated but rooted in love, even if it hadn't worked out in the end. On the other hand, Claire represented something new, a chance to start over without baggage or painful memories. As Claire's feelings for Kyle deepened, she became more invested in breaking free from Summer's meddling influence. She spent more time with him, learning his interests and passions, slowly proving to him that she wasn't like the others who came and went from his life. Yet, Summer's warnings lingered in Kyle's mind. He started to notice things he hadn't before, a veiled comment here, an unexplained absence there. Doubt crept in, clouding his judgment and making him question Claire's intentions. Claire noticed Kyle's growing hesitation, and it frustrated her. She knew exactly who was behind his sudden uncertainty, Summer. The breaking point. The tension finally reached a breaking point at a Newman Enterprises charity gala. Summer, dressed to impress, made sure to be Kyle's date for the evening, much to Claire's annoyance. But as the night wore on, the unspoken competition between the two women boiled over. After a glass or two of champagne, Summer decided to confront Claire. She pulled her aside, away from the prying eyes of the guests, and cut to the chase. You need to back off, Claire. Kyle is too important to me. I won't let you ruin his life just to satisfy whatever agenda you have. Claire's eyes flashed with anger. You think you're protecting him. The truth is, Summer, you don't want Kyle to be with anyone if it's not you. You've had countless chances with him, and you blew every single one. Let him go. The argument escalated, voices raised and tempers flaring. But in the midst of their heated exchange, neither of them realized Kyle was standing just around the corner, overhearing every word. Choosing himself. Heartbroken and conflicted, Kyle retreated from the gala, leaving both women to deal with the fallout of their confrontation. He'd had enough of their games, their possessiveness, and their inability to respect his choices. He needed to step back and reevaluate his life without the weight of Summer's expectations or the excitement of Claire's mysterious allure. The following day, Kyle made a decision that would surprise them both. He took a leave of absence from his work at Jabot and Newman Enterprises, decided to go on a solo trip to clear his mind, and finally figure out what he wanted. No Claire, no Summer, just him and his thoughts. The aftermath. Left without Kyle, both women were forced to confront the depths of their feelings and their motivations. Summer realized that her attempts to hold on to Kyle stemmed not from love, but from a fear of letting go. Claire, too, had to face the reality that she'd been so caught up in winning Kyle's heart that she hadn't stopped to ask herself if he was truly the right man for her. As Kyle's absence stretched on, Summer and Claire found themselves reluctantly united in their shared regret. They both pushed him away with their stubbornness and jealousy, and now they were left with nothing but the hope that he would one day return to Genoa City, perhaps a stronger, wiser version of himself. This storyline would serve as a fresh exploration of how sometimes true love isn't about holding on, but learning when to let go. Summer and Claire's rivalry ultimately forces Kyle to take control of his life in a way he never has before, perhaps setting the stage for his return to Genoa City as a man who finally knows what he truly wants. Thanks for watching this video, and please subscribe our Y and R Update YouTube channel for more update news.